For the past 6 years, the Windows version of Panorama has remained at version 4.02, while on the Macintosh, Panorama has advanced up to version 5.5.2. I'm happy to report that now, finally, there's been significant progress towards an updated version of Panorama for Windows. I'd like to show you some of that progress now. So I'll go ahead and quit out of Panorama 4.02. Now, Panorama 5.5 on Windows is still definitely a development project, so a lab project. So I'm going to launch it from Microsoft's Visual Studio development environment, and it's going to come up into the debugging window that's built into Panorama that we use internally. And I'll go ahead and launch Panorama. And now you can see in the corner here we're running Panorama 5.5, and it comes up with the recent databases wizard, which is a Panorama 5.5 feature, previously only on the Mac. And I'll go ahead and open up a database, and there you can see there's the database. And actually, that's not the database I meant to open. Let's open up my address book. Really? There's the one I meant to open. And you can see we've got features like live clairvoyance. And I can click on different records here. So in this case, live clairvoyance has been built into a form in the database. But I can also use the live clairvoyance wizard. And in this case, we've got the 5.5 feature of being able to store different searches, including formula searches. So for example, I can find every case where the city is not equal to is not capitalized properly. So here we can see there's 8 visible, and you can see that that formula there. Let's go ahead and take this to graphics mode, and I'm going to change the color of that, and to do that I want to go up to Form Tools and bring up Icons and Backgrounds and Borders and Dividers, and let's say I want to make this green, so that's 989. I double click here, change this to 989, and now we've got a green background. Now let's go ahead and I'm going to open up the corporate checkbook database. There we go. And then I'm going to go to the wizards menu and bring up the financial data wizard, which allows me to import QIF, OFX, or QFX data. This is used by Quicken and by banks. And I'm going to go ahead and select import, and I've got a sample file here. There it is, sample.qif. It says it has 115 transactions, and I'll go ahead and import that. And again, this is a Panorama 5 feature. It's only been on the Mac previously, but now as you can see it's running on Windows. Go ahead and clean up a couple of these windows here. A feature that was added on the Mac in version 5.5 is internet access directly from Panorama Procedures, and that'll be available in Panorama on the PC as well. Let me go ahead and bring up the address info wizard to demonstrate that, and I'll type an address, Pacific Grove, and when I click on the Get Address Info Wizard or button, it goes ahead and corrects the address, looks up the 9-digit zip code, and brings in a bunch of other information about that address as well. So it went to a couple of websites, a post office and one other website, to get that information. The PC version of Panorama, our internal version, also now supports sending email and the bulk email wizard. I don't have a demo for that, but it does work. And speaking of internet access, we've also got some enterprise features available as well. Let me go ahead and bring up available servers, and you can see that the ProView server is available. And if I go ahead and double click on that, it'll ping it and contact the server. I'm actually about 50 miles away from the server now, but I can still communicate with it. And let's go ahead and look at the server administration. And it's gathering the information from the ProView server. And you can see the server's been pretty stable. And here's some of the databases and memory usage, etc. Now let's go back to the recent databases wizard. And bring up a couple of databases that are connected to that server. So there's one. And press 2 and I'll bring up the catalog database. And now if I go to sharing info, you can see that those two databases are in fact connected to the server. And oops, I don't want to do that. Let's say I will go here and change the price of this tank car to $14.49. Oops, didn't mean to add another record. And you can see the little dot blinking as the network is accessed, the remote server is accessed. Okay, now let me switch to a copy of Panorama on the Macintosh with the same database open. And I'll go ahead and synchronize, and you'll see that it now shows that there's the changed price that I changed on the PC version. And let's go ahead here and select all the steam engines. And I'm going to go ahead and do a formula fill. And add $100 to all of the steam engines. Okay, so now let's go back to the Windows platform, and I'm going to go ahead and synchronize. And you can see it's added $100 to all the steam engines. Let's go ahead and select those, and now you can see they have the same prices that the updated prices that I updated on the Mac, so I synchronized them from one to the other. Now, this hasn't been a complete demo of what we've got working on Panorama 5.5 for Windows, but it does give you a sense of how this project is coming along. Stay tuned for further reports as this project continues.